Hi, I'm Katie Wittkind, and I'm here to help you connect to the infinite wisdom that exists within each of us. And if you've read my bio on my website or have been coached by me or interacted with me before, you might know that I do channel. And often I'm asked, really, what is channeling? And you can look up all sorts of information about it on the internet, but I do have a slightly nuanced or maybe a different way of looking at channeling. And so, yes, I channel, and surprise, so do you. And so you can think of channeling more like a spectrum, right? So maybe on the far end over here might be those gentle nudges you get, and you don't know quite where they're coming from, but when you follow them, things seem to work out for you. It could be as simple as, hey, you should go park over in this area, which is an area you don't normally park, and there is a wonderful parking spot for you right where you need it. Or it could be something as simple as, hey, don't go to that trip right away, or that kind of stuff, and you find out later there's a big accident and you could have been in it if you had left at a different time. So these are like the nudges we all receive. They don't necessarily feel so outside of ourselves that it feels like a big deal. Sometimes people call that their instinct, their gut feeling. Those nudges can be on simple things, and they can be on bigger things. Going on a date with somebody, or committing to getting married with somebody. Whereas very different than where to park, right? So you can think of these nudges over here somewhere. And then on the far end on this of the spectrum on this side is the channeling that you might have heard of or seen, where people kind of, what I would call, is take a back seat in their own car. So imagine that your consciousness is like driving your car. And if you take a back seat, you literally get out of the driver's seat, go sit in the back seat, and let someone else drive. That is a different kind of channeling, right? Where your consciousness allows a new sort of energy to come into the body. When you speak, it may even sound different, use different words, different terminology. And people in the room, when that is done, can feel the different energy. They'll say, wow, that was totally different. So that is a different kind of channeling. And you can look it up and find videos on that kind of stuff as well. So I have channeled on the full spectrum, right? So even over here, and this happens on a regular basis, right? But a lot of my channeling on a regular basis when I coach people is somewhere in the middle, where I really try to connect to what I call infinite wisdom that exists within each of us. And I kind of ask for and seek to be that conduit for that information that person may need to hear at that time, or the information I may need to hear at the time. And it kind of comes through me. And I know that it's different than just my regular thinking, because oftentimes I don't know where it's going as the thoughts are starting to come through, as the sentences are starting to come through. Now, know that it can be different for different people. Maybe it's not thoughts or full sentences. Maybe for you it's visions or concepts or ideas. It can be very different for different people. For me, I'm a writer, and so I can sit down and write, and it just comes through one word at a time, and then full sentences at a time, and then whole concepts. And oftentimes as I'm writing and I'm channeling in that way, I'm still in my driver's seat. I'm not in the back seat like on this end of the spectrum. I'm in the driver's seat. I'm very conscious. I'm very aware of what's happening, but I'm allowing some other thoughts and concepts to come through at the same time. So in that way, you can think of it as infinite wisdom sitting in the passenger seat, being my co-pilot. They're telling me, hey, where to go and turn left here. And that's creating the experience. And that's very much so what it feels like as I'm writing down words. I'm like, where are they going with this? This makes no sense. And then by the end of it, I'm like, oh, I get it. So that is channeling as defined as a spectrum. And so when I say, so are you, it's because all people experience these gentle nudges on the spectrum over here. They may not recognize it. They may not always see it. And I want to invite you to really start paying attention to some of those nudges that you receive, and learning to listen and get quiet so that you can really take in some of those nudges and be more consciously aware of them, so that you can deepen your connection to the internal wisdom that exists within. Thank you.